Are your leads slipping through the cracks? What's the best way to stay in touch with them automatically? In this video, I'll show you how to set up a lead nurture sequence using GoHighLevel to automatically follow up with your leads. We'll walk through setting up automated emails and timing them to keep your leads engaged and ready to convert. By the end, you'll have a fully automated lead nurture sequence running in GoHighLevel. I'm Nick, and this is video 6 of my 10-part series on how to automate your coaching business using GoHighLevel. If you want to build along with me, click the affiliate link down below to get your free 30-day trial of HighLevel. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome back. Good to see you. How you doing? Hope you're enjoying the course so far. Let's jump right into it. The next thing we've got is a nurture sequence. So let's get started. So here's what we're going to cover. What is a nurture sequence? Good question. Let's find out. 5-step email sequence. So we'll go through 5 emails that we can use. Tagging and segmentation. So picking apart our leads as they come through the pipeline, segmenting them, tagging them, and automate and personalize. So automating the whole thing, including personalization. But before we get into any of that, please follow me on the socials, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn for more exclusive content. The links are down below. Also, share the course. Sharing is caring. Let your friends know about this course in the community if it applies to them. But it's always great to get more people in and to really put this value out in the world. So quick warning, this is the most important video in the entire course. Don't skip, don't fast forward, watch the entire video. And a pro tip, watch the video in 2x speed so you can get through it faster and it doesn't drag out. I've started watching videos in 1.5 speed all the time, and when I watch them in 1x, it feels slow. So let's move on to the goals and outcomes. So intended outcomes of this lesson, email nurture sequence. So you'll have an automated email sequence to guide your leads to book a call. And tags and conditions. So you'll be able to tag leads and create conditions for alternate paths. So what is a nurture sequence? Let's get into it. Nurture sequences are about building relationships. So a nurture sequence is a series of automated emails designed to build trust and rapport with leads over time. So this is them getting to know you. You give them some information, you give them some value, tell them a bit about some of your success stories. But yeah, it's really framed on providing value to them. And I believe that is the next point, is educating and providing value. So the goal of each individual email is to deliver valuable content that addresses the pain points of your audience. So we want to position you as someone who is helping them out. You're the go-to person whenever they have an issue. And that's the leading indicator that someone will give you value is that they've already given you value. So as an example, me giving you this course, what you'll be able to see as you've done this is when you want more help with HighLevel or with journey mapping, you might think of me because I've helped you with it before through this course, as an example there. And guiding toward action. The nurture sequence creates a structured path by gradually increasing engagement and encouraging action. So we do have an overarching goal here with our nurture sequence. That goal is to get them to book a discovery call with you so you can have a chat with them, see if you're a fit to work together. That's what we're leading towards. That's the purpose of this nurture sequence. 5-step email sequence. Now, before we go into what the emails actually are, let's have a look in our map. So we've got our map here, and we're looking at this step here. So we've built our landing page. We've got our lead magnet download set up. Now we're going to send out a couple of emails to sort of nurture our leads, really help them get to know us, see the value that we have to offer, and hopefully take advantage of it in the best way possible. Now in our pipeline, we don't actually have a step for this. We should add one maybe, but it's from lead magnet sent to discovery call booked. We're in this area here in our pipeline. So after the lead magnet is sent. And if we go down here, we can see, so lead magnet sent is here. So they've downloaded the guide and we're going to have a look at the nurture sequence. So let's jump over to it. Yeah, this is it here. So when they're added, we'll add a tag to them. We'll send email 1 and then we'll go through some of this other stuff in a bit more detail later, but we're waiting, checking if it was opened, then sending another email, then waiting, checking if it was opened, then sending another email. And that sort of goes on and on and on to the end there. So let us have a look at this. We'll jump into HighLevel and we'll start creating this here. All right, so we're going to go to automation. So you can see we have our lead magnet delivery here. This is when the lead magnet was initially sent out. And we're going to follow on from that with the nurture sequence. So we're going to create a workflow. We're actually going to use a recipe this time because they have one set up that's quite good. Let's have a look. Where is it? Email drip sequence. So it's prospect follow-up. Now, the reason it's easier to use this one than start from scratch is because it already has the setup built in where it will send out the same email with a different subject line if they haven't opened it in the first instance. So you can see here, email 1, wait for open or 1 day. So was the email opened? If it times out, if it wasn't opened, then we've got email 1 again with a new subject. And then we wait 1 day and go to email 2. So it's the same as this setup here, where we'll just zoom in on one of them. So we've got email 1 is sent, we wait a day. If the email was opened within that day, we send out email number 2. If it wasn't opened, then we resend email number 1 with the new subject line, then wait a day and then send email number 2. So it's just to increase your overall open rates there. I've split tested it multiple times. It always has a higher open rate simply because people are seeing it more often. Okay, so let's start building this out. It's already built here, which is very nice. We might just rename it up the top here. Lead nurture 02. It's good to number things in order so they'll go in alphabetical order. We want to see them in the order that they happen. And we'll have a look at some settings here as well. This might be a good one to look at. All right, so we've got this allow reentry setting. Now we don't necessarily want this here. We might actually turn that off because they shouldn't go through the nurture sequence more than once. We'll have a look at how we set it up in the end and maybe reconsider that. Allow multiple opportunity. We don't really want this either. This means that if there's more than one opportunity for a particular contact, they'll go through the nurture sequence again. We don't really necessarily want that. We only want them to go through the welcome sequence, the nurture sequence once, and stop on response. Now, in this case, we don't want that either. What that would mean is if someone replies to an email, it stops the entire workflow. We don't want that in this case. Someone might reply and we still want to send them an email the next day. Depends on how they reply, what they have to say. Okay, now communication here. Now this is one, it depends if you're working internationally or not. It also depends on how the leads are coming in. If you're working locally, so if you're just in your specific area, then set it up as contact time zone, and we want a time window, and we can set up when the emails will go out. So it doesn't send out at all hours in the night. It's between a certain time frame, maybe 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. And you can do that Monday to Friday. You can have it all days of the week. It just depends. It's whatever you like here. And then sender details. So we can do that here. As a default, it will just choose your account details. But we can change that. We can put whatever we like in here. Just make sure it aligns with the email that you have set up in HighLevel if it's completely different. So I have Nick J. Gibson is my email address on this account. If I was having it come from, I don't know, Up Insights, my business name, it ruins deliverability there because it looks like it's masked. It looks like I'm pretending to be someone else that I'm not. So we want it to align. From number, we don't have to worry about that. That's for SMS messaging. Conversations mark as read. So we want to click yes on this. It just means it won't show up in your unread conversations, the emails that you've sent out. We don't want to see that. We don't want to fill that up. So they're all showing as read on your end as soon as you've sent them out. Okay, so we'll save this here. And let's jump back into the builder. Okay, so we need to write some emails. So let's start with email number 1. And what are we going to write? So subject goes here, create a text email here, or build visual emails. Now, I don't recommend visual emails. Text-based is the best for deliverability. If you fill it with code and pretty pictures, unfortunately, it makes it harder for it to hit the inbox. It's more likely to go to spam. Okay, let's jump back into our presentation because we have the 5-step email sequence here. So email number 1, your freebie is ready. So the purpose of this is to deliver the lead magnet and begin building a relationship. Now, if you remember from last time, we've actually already got this here. So I'll just go back to lead magnet delivery. It's actually good to go back to this one now because we want to do a little tweak here as well that we couldn't do last time. I wonder if you can remember what it is. I'm about to spoil it, but let me know if you figured it out before I said anything. So this is email number 1. It's in our lead magnet delivery. And what we are doing here, we deliver the lead magnet and begin building a relationship. The focus is to provide the promised resource and introduce yourself. So set the tone for the upcoming email series. So in here, we email the lead magnet out. We say, here's your template. We've delivered on our promise that we're going to give them something valuable. Here are the templates. So this, I've written a very basic email. I'd put a bit more in this. So a bit more about yourself, maybe, that you're grateful that they have chosen to pick up your lead magnet, your freebie, and what to expect next. So I'll be sending you a couple of quick tips over the next couple of days. Hope you like them. That sort of thing. So that's all set up here. We've got email number 1 set. And then we have in here as well that the same sort of setup. If they don't open it, then we'll send it again. And if they don't open that, or if they don't download it, we'll send something else. And then at the very end here, we're going to add them to a workflow. And this is the part that we weren't able to set up because the workflow we wanted to add them to, the nurture sequence, didn't exist yet. But now it exists, even though we haven't built it out. So this one is now complete and ready to go. So that is email number 1. So we've provided the resource, introduced ourselves, and set the tone. I didn't really do that, but you will. All right, next is email number 2, how to get the most out of your freebie. So the purpose here is to help the lead engage with the lead magnet and see immediate value. So in my case, if I was sending Zapier templates, I would have some tips and tricks here, how to use it, how to implement it, how to make sure it's working properly, maybe a video to go along with the template, that sort of thing. So the focus is to provide actionable tips or insights on how to use the lead magnet effectively. So make sure they get the most out of it, make sure it works for them. So let's put that in here. We'll go back to workflows. We'll go into lead nurture and let's start writing our email. So even though this is email 1 here, it's actually email 2 in our sequence. We might just rename it. Email 2. All right, get the most out of your templates. And we'll just say, hey, contact name. Here is a video on how to use your templates. Now, with this as well, email 2 is a good chance to pitch a discovery call. Just for the action takers, for anyone that's moving quickly, they don't necessarily want to wait the whole way through. So going back to here, to our map, the overall purpose, we want to deliver value, show authority, and give them a relevant offer. The offer is the discovery call. It's to get on a call with you. It's a free call where they can talk about whatever they like, but from your side of things, it's about seeing if you're right to work together and making a sale. That's what we're looking to do. And I know making a sale can sound a bit, yeah. Really, it's more about, are you able to help them? And to help them identify that as well, that yes, they need your help. Yes, it's the right choice for them. If it is, that's the most important thing. So that's the overall goal here, is to do that. We'll be pitching that discovery call in the 5th email, but we can in the 2nd email as well. As I said, not everybody wants to wait. I've heard a lot of feedback from people saying, just tell me what it is. I want to do it now. I don't want to wait 5 days. So we get there in the start as well. So if you're interested, book a call here. Now, of course, this is very basic. You'd want to write something a bit longer, a bit more in-depth. Not too long. Don't make it boring. It needs to be engaging. But this is too short. I'll say that. Yeah, a bit more persuasive. So that's set up. Now we might include a link here as well, or we should include a link. Let me see if I have a trigger link for this one. Yes, a trigger link was part of the plan. I forgot there for a moment, so I had to go have a look. So we're going to create a trigger link. So we did one of these in the last video for our lead magnet. We're going to create a new one here. And again, because we're working from the start, we haven't built the calendar yet, so we don't have a link for it, but we'll create the trigger link and we can come back and fix that. So we go to marketing, we go to trigger links, we add a link, so you can see we have our lead magnet link there. And we're going to say discovery call, and the link for that will be calendly.com. We won't be using Calendly at all. We can build a calendar inside of here. I just wanted to create a link for something. All right. Here we go. So that's there. We'll go back into our automation, lead nurture, and we'll include that trigger link here. So we click trigger links to open that up and discovery call. All right, so just cut that and paste it in here as a link. New window, we always want new window. So we'll save that and we'll save that. All right, so that's all set up. So we've got, I'm going to change it back to email 1 because it's just going to get confusing. Even though it's 2 in the sequence, it's number 1 in the lead nurture sequence there. Okay, so the next step we have here, we wait one day, or we wait for them to open it. If they open it, great, fantastic. We then wait another day and then send email number 2, which we haven't got to yet, but we want to handle for if they don't open it. We just want to send it again with a subject line, a different subject line. So we've got get the most out of your templates. Let's just copy the text here. And you can see new subject goes here. So we'll exact same body of the email there. And the new subject, engaging, make it work for you. And we're going to put the contact's name in there. So we'll give them their first name. If and when you can, include the first name in the subject line. It just increases open rates. So make it work for you, contact first name. Awesome. Save that. So that is email 1 done, or email 2. Let's go back and have a look at what's next. Okay, email 3, a success story. How client solved specific problem. So the purpose of this is to build trust and show real world results by sharing a case study or testimonial. So you want to show them that you know what you're doing and that you've done it before. Proof is incredibly important. I can't overstate how important proof is for getting people to want to work with you. Ideally, what we want here is someone that they identify with, so a client that they identify with, and a problem that they identify with. And if you have multiple, you can sort of mix and match depending on different lead magnets. That's a bit more advanced. We won't get into that right now. But if you know that everyone that downloads lead magnet A has problem A, or everyone that downloads lead magnet B has problem B, then you can sort of funnel those into different channels there. This is especially useful for quiz-based funnels when you can sort of categorize, but I'm getting way ahead of myself. We're not going to handle those in this course. That might be in the next one. Okay, so the focus is to highlight the results that someone else achieved by working with you, building social proof. So you're establishing yourself as an authority because you've helped someone else with the same problem that they're having. You've helped someone just like them with the exact same problem, which means you can do it for them. So we will go back in here and we'll start doing email number 2. All right, how I helped Sandra. Hi, Sandra. And this is a testimonial from Sandra about how awesome I am. And then you can include a link there to the testimonial. The whole thing can just be the story. In my case, I have a bit of a story here about one of my clients, and then a link to a video of me talking to him. So that's something you can do here. That email subject line isn't the best because there's no focus on the customer there. There's no focus on the lead. So, struggling with automation. Here's how I helped Sandra overcome the overwhelm. Something like that. Again, it's a bit too long. I'm not a copywriter. You might be able to tell if you're receiving my emails, but yeah, something like that to put the focus on them, or to grab attention. Okay, so that's email 2 set up. And again, we want to copy that down here, because if they don't open it, we want to send it again. We want to, if at first we don't succeed, try again. Sandra saved 5 hours a week. So that's grabbing their attention there. All right, so we have that all set up. So we've got email 1 and email 2 all set for the nurture sequence. So let's have a look at email 3, which is actually email 4. Hopefully you're keeping up with all the numbers here and understanding why email 1 was actually part of the lead magnet delivery. All right, email 4, we've got a quick tip to overcome specific pain point. So the purpose here is to offer additional value and address a common pain point. And to share a quick actionable tip related to a lead's challenges. So we're solving a problem for them. We're giving them value. This is pretty much always the goal, is to give them value. And we'll go back to our map here to just go through what we're doing here. So we want to give and teach to start with, and then sort of transition into teach and pitch. So we want to give them how to get the most. So we're giving them some value. Success story, this is a bit more pitch related, but we're also teaching them that it's possible for someone like them with their problem to get help, to move on from the problem. Quick tip, so this is a teach pitch as well. So you might want to include a call to action there saying, if you want to know more about this, reply to this email. We don't always want to send them directly to the booking page. We can, but sometimes it pays to have a bit of a softer touch and just say, hey, if this is interesting to you, if you found this interesting, hit me back with an email and we can talk about it. And then the final email in the sequence there is just a pitch. So let's get back to it. All right, so email 3, we're doing the quick tip. Zapier got you down. And then we'll just say something like, here's a quick tip to make Zapier 10 times easier. If you like it and want more, reply to this email. So very simple. Again, you'd flesh it out a bit more than this. I just want to show something as an example. So this is just to give them some help, something that's a common problem, very easy to fix that they might be struggling with. So it might be something like breath work, taking 5 minutes to remove your anxiety, that sort of thing. It, again, completely up to you, depends what your area is, what your niche is. If you want to bounce some ideas off me and you're in the community, make a post. I'm more than happy to try and help you out with that. Okay, so email number 3. So this is with the new subject line. So it's the same email again. Automation's not working. All right, so that is set. We'll save that. Okay, and now we're on to the final email in the sequence. So email 5, ready to take the next step. Let's talk. Directly encourage the lead to book a discovery call. The focus is to recap the value provided so far and invite them to book a discovery call with a clear call to action. So in here, we just send the one email. We can probably actually double down on this and send it again a second time. But all we're looking to do here is go over what we've talked about so far, so what we've helped them with, and sort of refresh their memory on that, and then have a clear call to action saying, hey, let's talk more. If you've enjoyed this so far, if this is helping you out, I can give you a lot more help. We should have a conversation. And that is true. I can provide all the value here in the world through my emails, through this course, but you and me having a one-on-one conversation is definitely going to be better because it's going to be more personalized to you. So book a call. All right. So we'll say, let's talk. And we'll say, hey, I haven't been putting these in, but always start with a little introduction and a contact first name there. And you can pepper them through as well. So covered a lot of stuff, but if you're looking for more help, and this is where we can put their name in as well, we can really personalize the emails here. Then we should probably have a chat. So again, very, very simple here. We'll put the link in again. So trigger link, discovery call. We're going to say book here. And new window. All right, we'll save that. Now in this setup, it stops there. So why don't we actually build this out so you can see how it works instead of just looking at the template. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an if condition. So you can use this for other things as well. So we've got if else. Okay, and then we've got in our branch here. So we have oh no, my bad. We forgot to wait. We always have to wait before we do if, because we need to see if it happens. We need to give it time to happen. So we're going to wait for not a time delay, but a email event. We're going to wait for email number 4 to be opened. We're going to time out in, you can say 24 hours, you can say 1 day, same. Save that there. And it builds the if condition itself based on that. You used to have to build that manually. All right, so if it's done, then we're actually going to do an extra step here as well. We're going to tag them as newsletter. We're going to remove the lead nurture tag, and we're going to wait 14 days. So we're going to tag. What was the tag? Newsletter. And we're going to use the newsletter tag is for your general mailing list. So later on, when we're looking at sending out a newsletter, we would only send it to people who are tagged as that. So we're not sending out newsletters to people that are in the nurture sequence and sort of doubling up on emails. We don't want to do that. So we'll add the tag. We will remove a tag that we forgot to add in the first place. Happens to the best of us. Up the very top here, we want to add lead, not lead magnet nurture, just lead nurture. This is what happens when I work with templates. So as soon as they come in, we're going to add a tag. Lead nurture. So that identifies that the lead nurture has started, the process is there. And then at the end, we want to remove that tag because the lead nurture process is over. Remove tag, lead nurture. Okay, yeah, that's set. Now on this side, if it times out, we're going to do the same thing again, send the email with a different subject line. Want to chat. Same again. Just going to put an X in there so I can save it. Then I'm going to copy and paste. Okay, then we're going to go to here. No, we're going to wait before we do that. We're going to wait 1 day. There we go. All right, so that's all set. Now there is a final step as well that we want to include, and that is to keep our pipeline clean. So after 14 days, if they're still in this workflow, which they shouldn't be, if they move to the next step, it's going to stop this workflow and remove them from it. But if they're still here after 14 days and nothing's happened, we're just going to abandon that opportunity. So it just keeps the pipeline clean and clear. So let's get into it. So we will wait. We'll wait 14 days. Save that there. And then we're going to update the opportunity in our leads pipeline, and it should be in the lead magnet sent stage. And we're just going to change that to abandoned. So they ghosted us. We sent them all these nice emails and we didn't hear anything back from them. That's fine, it happens. Happens to all of us. It happens more often than it doesn't. Unless you've got a really high converting nurture sequence, which if you do, I'd love to hear about it. But yeah, so that's, I'll just rename it here. It's just a matter of keeping the pipeline clean, and you'll still have them on the newsletter. You'll still have them in your contact list. You can still contact them, reach out to them, and hopefully bring them back in. Okay, yeah, so that's all set. We've covered everything here. This is all built out. Easy as that. So let's move on. Tagging and segmentation. So we've just done a bit of tagging. Let's go into it and see what we've got here. So tag leads. So we want to assign tags based on specific actions, such as downloaded lead magnet or engaged lead. So all of the different paths there that are possible, all the different stages on the journey, having those tags there mean we can do things like smart lists, and we can identify different entry points. There's more than I can count, more use cases there. A smart list, I might just show you that quickly. It's a bit off the beaten track, but if we go into contacts, we can create a smart list. So I don't know if anyone even has a tag yet, but we can filter by tags and say, is tag newsletter? We'll apply that. We'll save that as a list, and we will call that mailing list. So now when we're going to send out emails, there's no one on the mailing list at the moment. Let's put a tag on someone. Derek Jeter. Here we go. We're in the conversations tab. We haven't been here before. Tags. We're going to add a tag. We're going to put him as newsletter. And we're just going to, oh, we don't even have to save. That's saved already. So now if we go back to our contacts and look at our mailing list, there he is. So it's segmenting by different things. This one's just newsletter. We can look at all our leads. We can look at all our clients. If we don't want to send out emails to all our leads, our entire list, just our clients to update them on something, we can do that from here using these tags. It's very, very useful for identifying what stage they're at and different things as well, like which lead magnet they downloaded, what their pain points are, where we're at with them. Okay, and segment audiences. So we use tags to create segments of leads who are more likely to engage further and book a discovery call. Something else we can do is use an engagement score. So we can count how many emails they've opened. Have they been clicking on links? Do they seem more engaged? You might want to reach out to them directly. So that's something we can have a look at a later date, but it's definitely something worth using, especially if you have quite a few leads. And tailor messaging. So as leads move through the sequence, you can use tags to send more personalized content that reflects their level of interest. So if you want to get very fancy with it, you can have a look at, if you want to put in multiple links, get them to choose an option. I've done it before. I called it pick your path because I wasn't allowed to call it choose your own adventure, where my readers could decide, do they want all the emails right now, or do they want to wait? Do they want them in a certain order? What do they want to hear about next? Those sorts of things. So there's limitless possibilities here, and I'm getting excited, so I'm not going to talk about them right now. Okay, automate and personalize. So set up the workflow, automate your 5-step email sequence, ensuring that each email is triggered sequentially. We've already done that. Use conditional logic, so you can personalize emails using if-then logic. So we haven't done that quite so much just yet, but as an example, if we go back into our nurture sequence, and let's say we want to continue here. Let's have a look at it. I think it was here that we sent the, yes. So let's say we have a link to a video in this one. Okay, so we can say YouTube, new window, save that. And then on this here, was email 2 opened? Let's branch out even further here. Did they watch the video, I wonder? So we'll go if else, and we'll go, we'd have to create a trigger link. Oh no, we'll go, yeah, we'll just go clicked. A trigger link would be better, but we'll just say in this stage, did they click the link? Did they click a link in that email? So if they've clicked it, we're going to need to put a wait in there for about 10 minutes, we'll give them. So all we're doing here is we're creating an alternate path where if they have clicked the link, then we assume that they've watched the video. Then on the next email that we send out after that one day, we can reference the video. We can say, hey, saw you click the link, hope you enjoyed the video. So it's tailoring the content a little bit more. That's just an example there. I'm not actually going to put this in. I'm going to get rid of that, and hopefully I can get rid of it without deleting everything. No, I can't. I'll have to come back and fix that. So yeah, it's just an example there of how you can be a bit more tailored using conditional logic, because you can track the actions that they're taking throughout your emails. You can see if they've opened them. You can see if they've clicked links. If you've got trigger links, you can see if they've clicked through to that, and maybe even more. So personalize with custom fields. So use custom fields like first name to personalize email content to be more relevant and engaging. You can get really, really fancy. I'm going into too much complex stuff here, too much advanced information. But if they fill out a survey or a form with some details, you can even use ChatGPT to sort of tailor a response based on what they've said. So give ChatGPT the questions that they've answered and then their responses. And yeah, say craft a small response based on this. You might want to tweak that yourself, but you can put that together and send it out. You can even have it send you the details. So you can craft a small response, put it in a custom field, and have that be part of the email. You can go very deep with this. So this isn't full automation. That would be semi-automation, where you still have to do something manually, but majority of it is happening automatically. And resend unopened emails. So we've done that already. If a lead doesn't open an email, resend it with a different subject line after a set period. Okay, live run through. So I keep putting this slide in and we keep doing it before we get to the slide. I think it's better, let me know, I think it's better if we go through each live run through as we go through the slides rather than just go through all the slides at the start and then do the run through. But if you'd like it the other way around, let me know. I can always re-record this. So, a summary of what we've covered today. What is a nurture sequence? I hope that's clear to you now. It's emails that are sent out after someone opts in to try and get them to book a discovery call or take a certain action. In this case, book a discovery call. We've got a 5-step email sequence there. So we've gone through all 5 emails. We've built that out. Number 1 was already in our lead magnet delivery in the previous lesson. So we've actually just done a 4-step email here. I hope that wasn't too confusing. Tagging and segmentation. So we've talked about that briefly, how we can tag leads as they come through. We could even add tags as to whether they open the email or not, start counting the scores there. And segmenting them into different groups so that we can follow up in different ways. And automate and personalize. So having it all automated, having it personalized as much as possible. You can do just as simple as having their name in there, or you can go even further depending on how much information you have about them. So, action steps. Number 1, take a moment. How are you feeling about all of this? Is it a lot? Are you excited? Are you a bit confused? Are you concerned that this doesn't, feel good to you? Maybe it doesn't. A lot of people don't like to bother people with emails, and I think that's a bit of a false belief. I think if you have value to give and you honestly believe that, then it's sort of your duty to reach out to these people and find out if that value is right for them. Just a little thought there. Tag your leads. So organize your leads by tagging them based on their engagement with the lead magnet and follow-up emails. So we'll set up some tagging there. Right now, just tag them as leads. Don't worry so much about engagement. We'll implement some tags later on so that we can have a look at what's happening with them. Create the 5-step email workflow. Set up the automated sequence of emails that nurtures leads to book a discovery call. So build that out. If you're part of my paid community or one of my affiliates, you should have my snapshot. So it's all ready to go for you. You just have to fill in the blanks, fill in the emails there. Use conditional logic. So add some conditional steps to tailor emails based on how the lead interacts with your content. So that would be the email event, whether they've opened or not. That's the most basic conditional logic that we can use, and that's a great starting point. And share with the community. So share your email sequence and ideas for conditional logic for feedback and help. So my brain is only so big. The community altogether is much bigger than any help I can give. So let us know. I'd love to see what you're building, what your ideas are for how you'd like to tweak it, and we can talk about it. Now, a quote for today. The fortune is in the follow-up. And that's Jim Rohn, entrepreneur and motivational speaker. The more we follow up with people, the more likely we are to get results. Now, by this, I don't mean follow up every minute or every hour even. There's definitely a point where it's too much, but most people, especially in the coaching space, I think are not even close to doing too much yet. So keep reminding them. People need to be reminded more than they need to be taught that you exist. There's a lot of attention grabbing things out in the world. You need to let people know that you're still there, that you want to help them, for them to come and find you and get what you have to offer. And this is how you make the money. If you have a nurture sequence, I can almost guarantee you'll make more money than if you don't. Don't hold me to that. Actually do. And if you found this valuable, please leave a testimonial. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's make it happen. Get out there, start building the nurture sequence, and I'll talk to you soon. Your lead nurture sequence is all up and running. Next, we're covering how to set up discovery calls and one-off sessions so you can spend less time on admin and more time coaching. You can check out that video here, or you can go to the full playlist over here. And if you're looking for more in-depth help, you can join my free Automation for Coaches community on School with the link down below. See you there.